This is a remote controlled electric speedboat. We have here a relatively decent sized motor which looks like it has a water cooling system. So it looks like it has a coil here where water will be drawn to kind of cool off this motor. There's an electronic system up in there for the radio and all the controls. There's a place to plug in the battery, and there's a little battery compartment snap-in holder. So this is the battery here. It looks to be a 2-cell lithium-ion battery, 7.4 volts. It's labeled as 1.1 amp hours. And you can see that's the servo that controls the rudder. So it's basically a 2-channel boat. You have speed control on the motor and then direction control on the rudder. At the front here, there's a nice little sacrificial rubber nose cone. It's going to reinforce the front of the boat. It is removable. It snaps on and then plugs into this hole. I don't think it will come off in the water accidentally. And we have remote control here. Injection molded plastic. It feels very lightweight. It also feels like you're going to have to supply your own batteries here. So it says push this way to open it up, and it wants 4 AA batteries, so it looks like 2 in each of these slots here. A trim here, which I believe is going to be for the rudder. Break one propeller, you do get 1 extra spare propeller. Okay, let's see how this guy turns on automatically in the water or not. Okay, I see flashing lights. I've turned this guy on, it's beeped, and it is moving. I can turn it, it's turning. Okay. Let's see if I can keep it out of the grass. All right, off it goes. Pretty decent control. Oh, yep, got caught in the grass. All right, now I need to get it back here and get the grass off of it. Preferably not going through the grass. I still have control authority, so that's good. It's definitely moving slower than before, though. You have a piece of grass stuck to the end of it. Okay, now this is where you could get your finger cut off, so you have to be careful here. The lights are still on. Beep. I think it might have turned itself off, but I'm going to be very careful with this propeller here. And I got grass wrapped around it, but I am able to pull that off. The rudder is nice and straight here after I turned it on, so it seems to be pretty well set up for the, there's the trim, the rudder trim. I don't know if that's going to work while it's beeping here out of the water. It doesn't seem to be doing much. It seems to have detected us back in the water. I'm testing the rudder trim. I see the rudder slightly. Alright, so you can go reverse or forward. Right now it's not doing anything because it's out of the water. The water detection seems to be relatively quick after you pull it out of the water to detect. Say even if there's a water drop here, it's somewhat out of the water. This guy beeps when I think it's out of the water. So I need to play with the trim a little bit. I messed up the trim and it wasn't going straight, so I'm going to play with that a little. So in the light with the sun out there, it's hard to tell which direction it's moving necessarily. You really need that wake to help you out. So I have not ran out of radio control distance yet. I think I'm gonna have to take it out at night and try it out at night because I can't see it far enough away in the daytime to really test the radio control distance effectively out with the ripples and everything out there. I can tell where it is more from the disturbance of the water than from actually being able to see it when it gets far away.
but I would say that the radio control distance is plenty for this size of a craft, because you know it's only like 16 inches long and only like 2 or 3 inches sticking out of the top of the water. Okay, I'm getting a beeping alarm here. The green light is flashing and beeping. So I'm assuming that's a low battery alert. It also feels like it's going a little slower. So I think that is the total amount of runtime we got there, which was a decent amount of time here. So looking inside the cockpit here, I have some water between the acrylic, this acrylic cover and the interior. So when I do that, there's a little bit of water that dripped out there. I'll have to open it up and see if there's water inside the compartment here that's latched with these 4 things. Alright, I was impressed with this. I had a lot of fun playing with it. The controls worked pretty darn well. It had some water between this acrylic canopy and the main body. When I pulled it out of the lake, I dried off everything with paper towel. Now I'm going to open this up and see if there's any ingress of water in here. So it popped open, and I am not seeing any water inside here, so it looks like the waterproofing worked well. It was giving me a good low battery alarm. It was like beep, 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 so it was very obvious that there was a low battery alert. These batteries are warm to the touch. You know, I was driving it pretty much continuously for the last like 7 minutes or so. And it's gotten warm, but not hot. So I'm pretty sure the battery is used up here and I need to recharge it. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this guy. You know, it's not top of the line like professional RC boat quality where you're buying all the different parts and building it yourself, but as a ready to run little runabout speedboat, pretty good performance, good controllability, seems to have a nice feature set. It seemed to always recognize when I pulled it out of the water, it started beeping at me and saying, hey, you know, you're out of the water. So I've been pretty happy with this guy here. I think the price point is pretty reasonable for what you get. It claims a 25+ km/h speed. That's only 15 miles an hour, and it might have been hitting that. So it was hitting a lot of bumps on my lake, and every time it hit a bump, it would slow it down. So I think maybe if I waited for a morning where it was just glass smooth, it might really get a lot more speed, but it was zipping along pretty well there. You know, plenty enough speed to have fun with it. I want to take it out at night as well to see what the lights look like. I can probably go farther away with it. The radio range, I never had a problem with it because basically it would be almost out of sight. I'd lose it in the kind of ripples and waves of the water, and the only way I could really see it was to watch the wake that it would throw up when it was moving around. So I'm going to take it out again at night and kind of get a view for it with the lights on, and maybe go a little farther out at night to see if I can hit that maximum range on the radio. Alright, I've plugged this Speedboat battery into charge. It's charging at, looks like about 6, maybe 6 watts here. It says it takes about 2 hours to fully charge, so that would be an 11 watt hour or 12 watt hour battery. So we're going to run it through the USB meter here. We'll charge it up. We'll see how many watt hours it takes to charge it back up. So the nameplate on the battery says it's an 8.1 watt hour battery. All right, we have a green light, so the battery is charged. and it took 12 watt hours to charge it up. So that's pretty consistent with a battery that has an 8 watt hour capacity. All right, there's one boat out on the lake, and it's time to try this guy at night. Okay, it has blue lights on the rear and a red dash light at the front. Let's try to turn it around here without hitting the dock. There we go. Well, I can see it out on the lake. I'm not sure if you can with this camera or not. It's easier to see going sideways than going away from you. You can kind of tell which direction it's going because the red spot's in front. But every time it goes in turns, it's hard to see. It's actually probably just as hard to see here at night as it is in the daytime. I can get it about as far away before I kind of start to lose it. The red light is very easy. Coming towards me, I can see the red light pretty easily. But the blue lights, and I hit the red grass, so I can't see the grass at all. And now I am under the dock. There we go. Alright, so you can definitely see where it is, and you can navigate it at night. You can't see obstacles as well. It doesn't do like a flashlight out front of it or anything, so you can't really see things, but you can see it. Alright, I picked it out of the water and the lights turned off. So it took just a couple of seconds of being out of the water for this guy to go into safety shutdown.